We're back for our daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Today is Sunday, April 6th, and we've got 11 games today in the National Basketball Association. Some blowouts, some Tankathon games, and some competitive games as well. So we're going to go over an assortment of games today with the National Basketball Association. And before we get into the predictions, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Only 2 games tomorrow, but we'll go over them. Kings, Pistons, 76ers, and Heat, and then obviously another big slate on Tuesday. But 11 games today, and let's go over every single one of them. But first, make sure to go check out our college basketball crown predictions. That's linked in the description down below, along with our Major League Baseball best bets for today as well. Again, in the description. Later today on Greedo Plays MMA, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, our UFC 314 Volkanovski versus Lopez full card predictions. Michael Chandler, Patty Pimblett in the co-main event. Go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA. As of recording, we're at 499 subscribers on Greedo Plays MMA. Let's get to 500, and let's get to 1,000 as well. Okay, on to the first of our 11 games today. We start things off, not there. Here we go. That was the schedule with the Chicago Bulls and the Charlotte Hornets. I'm going with the Bulls minus 9.5. Okay, I like how this game's on NBA TV. I don't know why. This game's at 10. Oh, that means this video is going up at 9:30. Great. Or 9. Yeah, I'm taking the Bulls in this game. To the surprise of nobody, I'm taking Chicago here. They should destroy the Charlotte Hornets, right? I mean, you know that we like the Bulls a lot with Giddey, with Kobe White. Chicago's fighting right now to potentially work their way into the 7-8 game. The Hawks have been losing a lot, so Chicago could actually get into the 7-8, and then Atlanta would have to play Miami in the 9-10, and we'll see what happens. And the Bulls, I think, go right through the Hornets, right? No LaMelo Ball for the rest of the season. They're not that great anymore. Mark Williams, questionable. Josh Green, out. Miles Bridges is the only thing keeping this Charlotte Hornets team together. And for the Chicago Bulls, they've got 5 more games left in the regular season. They go to Cleveland Tuesday, then Miami on Wednesday, Washington on Friday, then in Philadelphia to close the year a week from today. So we've only got a week left of regular season NBA basketball, and it's a full-on sprint from here on out because the Western Conference playoff picture is still very crazy. We'll get to that later. In this game, though, I am going to go with the Chicago Bulls. They are the better basketball team. Charlotte is in full tank mode now, and the Bulls are stuck in the play-in. So they are trying to win every game possible, right? This Bulls team, we've said it before, is very fun. I really like watching Kobe White and Josh Giddey play basketball. Vucevic will still have his nights as well. It's a high-scoring team, and it's a team that's really hard to keep up with, especially if you are a squad like Charlotte, who doesn't really do anything all that well, offensively or defensively at this point in the season. I'm all over the Chicago Bulls here. They should win this game by double digits, and that's exactly what the line is. Chicago minus 9.5 feels fine. Give me the Bulls to win this game by double digits here on the road in North Carolina against the Charlotte Hornets. To our second game of the day, we move to Brooklyn, New York. The Brooklyn Nets take on the Toronto Raptors. Brooklyn isn't good. Toronto's not very good. I'm going to take the Raptors to cover the 2.5 points. I know the Raptors have lost 3 in a row, and the Nets, did beat the Mavericks on the road. But you look at their last game, they got 4 days off. They return on Thursday to play the Minnesota Timberwolves. They get beat up on their own home court by 15 points. And you look at the injury situation for the Nets, it is obvious that they are in full tank mode at this point in the season. They're trying to ensure that the Toronto Raptors don't have more, they're trying to ensure that they don't have more wins than the Toronto Raptors, because if I'm getting this right, the Nets can guarantee they have a bottom 6 record in the NBA if they lose this game. Yes, they will clinch a bottom 6 record in the NBA if they lose to the Raptors today. Again, is the tanking thought process this drawn out? You might want to say no, but legitimately, guys, these NBA teams, they know what they're doing with the tanking. Again, with Walker Kessler taking 1 million threes for the Jazz, with all of the rest, guys, the Nets are not playing Nick Claxton tonight. Why? Oh, just rest purposes. D'Angelo Russell, out. Daron Sharp, out. Cam Johnson, out. There's a reason for this. They know what they're doing. The Raptors, at the same time, they don't play their best players in big-time spots in the game. If they get deep in the fourth quarter, they bench their star players. I'm talking about Scotty Barnes. I'm talking about Emmanuel Quickley, right? We haven't seen some of their major players in a while, too, because they've been injured. But again, what is the validity of these injuries? This is the unfortunate part of the NBA right now, but it's legitimately what's going on, right? I mean, Jakob Poeltl rests every other day. They trade for Brandon Ingram. He's supposed to be playing, but then he never ends up stepping on the court this season for Toronto. The entire thing's a mess. Tonight, IQ out, Jakob Poeltl out, both rest purposes. Brandon Ingram, the latest report on him 2 days ago was Coach Darko Rajakovic says that Brandon Ingram should be cleared for contact and this week and will go through a practice. What, is he going to play the final game of the season? And the Raptors don't get dick for the rest of the year either, so I don't know. I'm taking the Raptors. Guys, don't bet on games like this at this point of the year, though, right? Both these teams don't care anymore. There's no playoff implications, and you can go to Brooklyn and watch this game for $2. Give me the Raptors, but I wouldn't bet it. I am betting this, though. Lakers plus 8.5. Okay. Guys, the Thunder can't get 70 wins now. That's why I think personally, and yes, they're still playing for the Shea MVP, and so SGA won't rest that many games down the stretch because he's still trying to improve his resume for most valuable player, but 70 wins isn't achievable anymore. They lost in Houston on Friday night. They play back-to-back games against the Lakers. I have been saying they're going to lose one of these games. I think the Lakers will split this. I think they get the first. I think they do. OKC's coming off of a loss now. I think it's a great spot for Los Angeles. I think it is. OKC coming off a loss. You look at the other times they've lost, they've only lost back-to-back games once this season. It came back in November. They lose against the Mavericks, and then 2 days later they went to San Antonio and lost. It's one that sticks out like crazy. They lost to the Spurs at one point in the season, right? But Wemby will do Wemby things at times, right? I really like I don't really like the Lakers in the money line. I really like them on the spread, though. I think they play a very competitive game against OKC tonight. The Lakers have not beat the Thunder this season. I completely understand it. This is the second time they've played all year, so they only played 3 times in total. The first time was in Los Angeles in November. The Thunder won by 8. Luka last year got the Thunder out of the playoffs in 6 games. I'm just saying. Different squad, obviously. He was with Dallas, but Luka did eliminate them last year. And now he gets them in back-to-back games. I understand. Luka had a very bad game against the Warriors. Honestly, did not have his best game against the New Orleans Pelicans. Still scored a lot of points. Him, AR, and LeBron combined for 90+, because that's what those guys will do, the real big 3. Well, no, Doncic scored 35. He had a really bad first half, really bounced back in the second half. I just expect Luka to go off in this game, and I just feel like the Lakers want this more than the Thunder do. OKC knows where they're going to be in the playoffs. They're the 1 seed. They can't get the 70 wins at this point anymore. It does suck that Maxi Kepler might not be back for the playoffs, but obviously Kepler's not the biggest concern. But I'm just Maxi Kleba, but we'll see. Bronny James is bad, guys. There's something, but no. In all seriousness, LeBron's healthy, Luka's healthy, AR is healthy. They've only lost to the Thunder once this season. They only played them once, but at the same time, again, you get the Thunder coming off a loss. There is no thought of them winning 70 games at this point anymore. And I want, again, they're not going to do this, and I understand Vando doesn't play the defense he used to. I want Jared Vanderbilt on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the entire basketball game. I do. They're not going to do it. But guys, what Vando did to Steph Curry in the playoffs a couple years ago, that's exactly what Vando should be doing against every elite guard in the league. He can keep up with a guy like Curry. That means he can keep up with a guy like SGA. I understand SGA is the best player in the sport right now. Vando at his best can be that type of guy. I understand, again, Vando's not as quick as he used to be. He's not as athletic as he was in that playoff run a couple seasons ago. But why not give it a shot at this point of the year? Again, I'm getting a little concerned right now with the Lakers. I don't think they're going to fall in the play-in, but there is a pathway. They own the tiebreaker against literally everybody, except for OKC, but obviously the Thunder are the 1. I'm getting a little scared. There is a pathway where the Lakers could be back in the play-in this season, which would be a nightmare. So this game means a lot. It really does. And I think they get it. I think LeBron knows how big this game is. Luka obviously knows it as well. And Doncic got these guys out of there in the playoffs last season. I understand how great OKC is, but these games don't mean as much anymore. 70 wins isn't possible. And I think the Lakers get him out of there tonight. Give me the Lakers in OKC to beat the Thunder. The best bet and the best play for this game, though, is Lakers on the spread, Los Angeles plus 8.5. Let's go to our 4th game. We're going to keep this one short just because there's a lot of games today, and these next 3 are just tankathons. Well, the Kings aren't tanking. They just suck, but we'll get to that later. Hawks, Jazz. Give me Hawks minus 11.5. I don't feel bad about this one. The Hawks have lost 3 in a row. They're in desperate need of a victory. We said it earlier. The Bulls are right on their ass for that 8-9 situation, right? It's a big deal being the 8 seed compared to the 9 seed. You'd much rather have 2 shots at getting into the playoffs. So the Hawks need to win. They are in desperate need of a victory. They will put it on the Jazz tonight. Guys, Utah does not play competitive basketball. They've now lost, 12 games in a row, I think it is. It's only 8, actually. It feels like more. But the Jazz have lost 8 games in a row. Let's take a wild guess. Who's out today? Oh, Walker Kessler has a nose injury now. I mean, it's just, they're obviously tanking. It's insane. They've already locked up one of the, they don't have the number 1 odds yet, though. They're trying to clinch the worst record in the NBA. You know damn well they're not getting rewarded with Cooper Flag, but it's all right. They are trying to lose. The Hawks are in desperate need of a victory. Atlanta's 36-41, coming off 3 straight losses to the Blazers, to the Mavs, and then yesterday against the Knicks. My goodness, that was really horrible. Guys, Trae Young led their team in points in that game yesterday against the Knicks yesterday morning with 16. It's not good. The Hawks are in a bad way right now. But if there was ever a team you can bounce back against, you can get your get back against, it's the Utah Jazz. But the thing is, the Hawks go on a 3-game road trip after this in Orlando, in Brooklyn, in Philly. I'd expect them to get at least 2 of those games, and the Orlando game could actually be really big. If they can beat Orlando, the Hawks could find themselves back at home in the 7-8 game in the play-in. So we'll see. In this spot, though, I do like the Atlanta Hawks to beat the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are absolutely horrible. They're not trying to win. Kessler's out. I don't even want to know who's starting for them tonight. It's Isaiah Collier. I'm surprised Sexton hasn't been ruled out yet, but Collier, Sexton, Sensabaugh, Filipowski, Micah Potter. That's brutal. That's brutal. Give me the Hawks. They should run the Jazz out the building. Atlanta does everything better than Utah does, and they will, again, the first game they played was the Trae Young buzzer beater. It was a very competitive game, right? The Hawks win by 3. This one will not be close. It's not in Salt Lake this time. It's in Atlanta, and the Hawks should put belt to ass. Let's go on to our 5th game of the day, and we move to the Boston Garden. Celtics Wizards. I wouldn't bet it. At 20.5 points, it's just too unpredictable. Too many things can happen. If you don't have a certain hunch on a team that is an underdog in this spot, I wouldn't play it. I don't feel that confident about the Washington Wizards to cover 20.5 points against the Celtics. Hell, it's hard for regular teams to cover 20.5 points against the Celtics, let alone the tanking Wizards. Hell, you look at the Suns, they lost the Celtics by exactly 20. And that's the thing that Boston's going to do to you. They are historically now, which is crazy to say, but it's true, the Boston Celtics in 2025, guys, are historically one of the best 3-point shooting teams of all time. That's the all-time significance right now of the Boston Celtics. It's crazy. And as a parent, in that Suns game, that's what they can do to you. They can get hot from behind the arc. They take as many threes and more threes than any other team in the NBA right now. And so they're going to get hot, and they're going to keep on shooting. And sure, that's what can lead to them, ultimately losing games if they can't find their shot and can't find their rhythm. And a game like this is the Wizards, right? So we'll see. I'd expect them to get going from beyond the arc, but 20.5 points, again, against a professional basketball team is a lot. And you look at the Celtics' last 4 results, I understand they haven't been playing the Wizards, but hell, you look at a 20-point win over the Suns, a 20-point loss to the Heat, a 14-point win against the Grizzlies, and a 10-point win over the Spurs. The game is in Boston, I understand. The Celtics have nothing to play for, though. When you really think about this, and I know the Wizards have nothing to play for either, but ultimately, and the Wizards have a bunch of injuries, I'll get to that in a second, but what do the Celtics really have to accomplish here? I mean, if this game, again, is a 20-point lead for them in the third quarter, okay, all the starters are getting sat down, and then you just need the Wizards bench unit to outperform the Celtics bench unit. There's too many things that could go wrong to back the Celtics, so I'm actually going Wizards plus 20.5. On top of that, both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are questionable today. Brown questionable with a knee injury, Tatum questionable with an ankle injury. They are going to, be on the safer side 100% this close to the playoffs. This is a meaningless game against the Wizards, and the Celtics are locked into the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. So this game doesn't matter at all. Now, the Wizards are very hurt, right? Vukanic is questionable. Brogdon out. Sadiq Bey out. Keyshawn George out. Rashawn Holmes actually going to play probable. And then Chris Middleton out as well. But Jordan Poole's playing. So shout out to the Poole party. We're taking the Washington Wizards in this game plus 20.5. Again, I wouldn't bet it like I wouldn't bet a lot of these large spreads, but I think Washington's able to kind of stay in it. And again, they can lose the game by 20 points and we still win. So yeah, I'm going to take Washington in a game that doesn't mean anything for Boston. They are going to play on the safer side, if anything, in this game. Let's go to Cleveland now. I did group this into the Tankathon games. Now, again, the Sacramento Kings are not tanking. They just suck. So the report came out, obviously, about Domantas Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan needing to reevaluate their situation with the Sacramento Kings and have some uncomfortably important or serious conversations about Sacramento in the offseason. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what the Kings should do. I've been saying for the longest time, and I think a lot of Kings fans agree just by how I've been gauging Kings Twitter, that everyone on this team should be traded other than Keegan Murray, Jake LaRavia, Devin Carter. Those are the 3 guys you keep. Everyone else gone. Keon Ellis gone. Levine gone. DeRozan gone. Sabonis gone. Everyone else gone. Valanciunas gone. There's nothing against those guys. It's just you need to restart. The Sacramento core is not going anywhere. It's not helping you to pay Levine, DeRozan, and Sabonis all this money. Now, the thing is, who's going to take Levine's contract? Probably nobody, so you're probably stuck with Levine through the rebuild. But hey, let Levine sit here and average 25 points a night playing with a bad team. You need some veteran to push the rebuild forward, so I guess it'll be Zach LaVine on this team. He'll probably put up all-star numbers. He'll be on one of the worst teams in basketball, but he'll probably be an all-star doing it. So I don't think he's going to mind. And it'll raise his value, and maybe it'll fool someone into trading for that contract at the deadline next season. So sure, keep LaVine. If you can find a trade partner in the offseason, take it. But if not, fine. Let LaVine average 25 next season with this squad. But the Kings need to just completely tear it down and restart. Anyways, they're going to be in the play-in, which is a joke, but they're going to be. Now, I feel very confident that they are going to get blown out by the Dallas Mavericks if the game's in Dallas, but Dallas, with their back-to-back losses against the Clippers, there's a chance that game's now in Sacramento. If it's in Sac, I think it's 50-50. If it's in Dallas, I think the Mavs run right through them. I really think so. But again, we'll get to that in about a week and a half now. For now, Cleveland and Sacramento, yeah, the Kings are not beating the Cavaliers. I understand, again, the Cavs have literally nothing to play for at this point. Everyone's playing tonight. Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen, Hunter off the bench. They're all going tonight. I mean, eventually the Cavs, I believe, are going to start resting some guys, but you're still a week out. So yeah, you might as well keep playing them here. Sacramento's horrible. I have nothing to say about them. You can look at potentially the Suns trying to break back in, but we'll talk about Phoenix's game today, and I really just don't see a path. Phoenix has got to, they need to make up 2 games. There's a chance Sacramento loses out, let's be honest. Cleveland, Detroit, Denver, Los Angeles, Phoenix. So that means the Suns just need to win 1 game, actually. Can the Suns get 1? Oh, they could beat San Antonio. Wow. No, we might get a winner-go-home game next Sunday. Kings, Suns, I'm not joking. Wow. Yeah, that could actually happen. Which 38-win team gets into the play-in? That's sad. Wow. We'll get to that. Anyways, we'll get to that later. I'm taking the Cavs in this spot. The Kings are horrible. I don't care. The Cavs only beat the Spurs by 1 point. The Spurs try sometimes. You know, the Kings are just so dysfunctional. They don't play defense. They will leave the Cavaliers open every single time down the court. The Cavs should be able to push. They should be able to get their shots in fast break and in transition. And I think the Cavaliers dominate the Kings. So Cavs minus 10.5. Next up, Portland. Spurs, Trailblazers. Technically, both these teams are not eliminated yet. The Blazers are actually not that far behind the Suns, but it would take a miracle for them to get in. Even though, guys, in the situation we just presented to you, and I'm going to tie this all in because the Suns are the next games. This all makes sense. Trust me. The Blazers could actually still get in. If they beat the Spurs tonight, and if the Kings lose out, which we're kind of expecting, Portland just needs to win 3 games total. They need to beat San Antonio. They need to beat Utah. And then they need to beat either the Warriors or the Lakers. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe, but I don't think either of those teams are going to be resting against Portland. So probably not. But there is a pathway still, yes, for the Trailblazers to get in. And it starts tonight against the Spurs. Technically, yes, there's a pathway for the Spurs to get in. I'm not even going to go over it because it's not a serious pathway. Anyways, the Blazers will beat San Antonio, guys. We're watching the way every single night how these young players are playing for the Blazers, and it's great, man. You watch the way Denny Adjiva's been playing. You look at the way Donovan Klingen's playing. Hell, Shaedon Sharpe, who hasn't always gotten to start for this team this season, they're playing great ball right now. I think they beat the Spurs, who, at the same time, I know they've been losing a lot. San Antonio's been playing some really good ball, too. I mean, Chris Paul's kind of stepped up recently. Stephon Castle's been great. Devin Vassell's been really good, too. Bismack Biyombo, Sandro Mamukelashvili. Like, low-key, I know the Spurs have only won 1 game in the last 8, but every time I watch the Spurs, they don't win, but they're really competitive, other than the Nuggets game. Shout out to them for winning that one in Denver. So, the Spurs low-key playing decent ball right now. The Blazers are just better with Adjiva and Klingen and Sharpe. Simon's questionable tonight. Adjiva questionable. Ugh. Kamara questionable. Aiden out, doesn't matter. Jeremy Grant doubtful, doesn't matter. Dupree questionable. Henderson out. This isn't a horrible game to bet. Yeah, I'm fine with the Blazers here, minus 3.5. I understand they're dealing with injuries, but the Blazers are low-key deep. Low-key, they have guys. right? I mean, it's really telling when Shaedon Sharpe comes off your bench. And obviously, right, I mean, he's starting now because Kamara has been hurt and Simons has been hurt as well. But the Blazers honestly are not that bad. They do, I don't know if they're all that aware of this. I'm sure they are. They can still make the play-in. So you think they're going to try to make a push here. And look at the other results from the other play-in teams today. I'm expecting a Kings loss, and I'm expecting a Suns loss too, which would put the Blazers back in 11 and only put them 2 games out. They're not completely out of it, guys. They're not. I don't know. I'm taking the Blazers to win this game as they try to make their final push to the play-in. Next up, we go to the other team in this Western Conference play-in mess, the Phoenix Suns. God, give me the Knicks minus 8.5. I don't think Kevin Durant's playing another game as a Phoenix Sun unless they can find their way into the play-in. Actually, I can see him playing if that last game against Sacramento is for the season. Because if it's win and you're into the play-in, sure, I'd probably see KD coming back for that one. Why wouldn't you at that point? They're not beating the Knicks. This team's lost 5 in a row now, which is the crazy thing because I think they're going to lose 8 in a row. But if they can beat San Antonio and then beat Sacramento to close the year, and if Portland doesn't do what we said they're going, if Portland doesn't, go through that scenario, then yeah, the Suns will still get in the play-in, losing 8 out their last 10 games. Great. They're not beating the Knicks. Don't care. They're not going to stand a chance. Jalen Brunson's back. To what capacity, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we assume Brunson's going to start. He has to start. He's the face of the franchise. I don't know how good Brunson's going to be, but they need him. They need to get him back into, somewhat postseason form. And they obviously have more than a week to do that. Now they get a week of regular season action to do that. So expect Jalen Brunson to be great tonight, or not great. So expect him to just be okay tonight. And then I don't know what to say. What do you expect of the Suns? I mean, expect them to get scored on a lot. Not have an answer for Cat. I mean, they're starting Oso at the 5 now. They moved Nick Richards to the bench. I don't think Oso's bad, but is he going to stop Karl Anthony Towns? No. Yeah, give me the Knicks. This game's not close to me. The Suns are not serious. They're not. They're like the Kings. They're not a serious team. Next up, Pacers Nuggets. I'm taking the Pacers. Yeah, I'm taking the Pacers as dogs here. Guys, I'm adamant on the fact I don't think the Nuggets are good. Just don't think they are. Jokic comes back. They lose by 14 to the Warriors. I know none of them played on Wednesday against the Spurs, but they still lost. Russ sells the game on Tuesday against the Wolves when Jokic scores 61. Guys, there's potential the Nuggets go to the play-in. There is. They're a team nobody wants to see in the play-in. If they lose today, and some stuff goes wrong for them down the stretch, yeah, they're going to be in the play-in. And look at their schedule. Indiana, Sacramento, Memphis, Houston. Now again, Sacramento and Memphis are not serious teams right now. But if they lose to Indiana tonight, which I think is more than possible, Indiana, they are kind of locked in 4, so I do kind of question what they're going to do down the stretch here, because no Pascal Siakam tonight. But ultimately, I think the Pacers shock them. Guys, Indiana against the Nuggets, I know they haven't beat them in their last 3 encounters. I completely understand that. They've been this close 3 times in a row, though. I've watched these last Nuggets-Pacers games, and especially the last 2, they've been right there with the Nuggets. And just a couple breaks in the fourth quarter have gone Denver's way, but the Pacers have been literally right there. I think they get Denver here. I really think so. The way the Nuggets have been playing, the Pacers are a high-octane offense. They're going to put up points. And I don't think the Nuggets can really... I don't think they're going to have a stop for them. I don't think so. Denver's that bad defensively. Jamal Murray might not even play today. Murray's questionable. We'll see if he doesn't play. That's a big factor as well. Because I think it's... You look at how this team plays without Jamal Murray. Because they have to play Russ. They have to play Peyton Watson. I mean, again... I know Murray's not their best guy, but you look at the lack of supporting cast around Jokic. Yeah, they really need Jamal Murray. So, I don't know. Are they going to miss the plan? Probably not, because they can probably just beat Sacramento and Memphis as well. But I think they lose the Pacers here. I love what Tyrese Halliburton's been doing. He's the new point guard. This team's won 3 straight games. Even without Pascal Siakam, I think the Pacers find a way to win. Worst case, I don't mind the spread plus 6.5. I think the Nuggets defense is just not good enough to keep up with Indiana tonight. I'm taking the Pacers on the road. Again, they've been right there to beat the Nuggets so many times. They do it tonight. Next up, let's go to San Francisco. I'm taking the Rockets, okay? The Rockets broke the Warriors' curse earlier this season in the in-season tournament. I know they are still 1-3 against them this season. They beat them in that close game where the Warriors kind of got robbed, not going to lie, in December, but it is what it is, right? They're 1-3 against them all year long, right? The Warriors went to Houston in February and beat them. I'm taking the Rockets this time around. Okay, guys, the Rockets are the biggest regular season team I've ever seen. They literally made a whole full documentary about their regular season win over the OKC Thunder in their last game. I'm not joking. That's a legitimate thing on Twitter right now. They actually made a documentary about it. Interviews and all for a regular season win. Crazy. These guys care about the regular season. Alfred Şengün, he said in his post-game interview on the court after they beat the Thunder, when we are playing serious, I'm paraphrasing this some, but when we're serious about playing, or we're trying hard, nobody in the league can beat us. Obviously, nobody believes that, but it's time to put your money where your mouth's at, pal. Go beat the Warriors. Do something that the Rockets have been cursed to do for the last 8 seasons. You beat them once this season. Can you do it twice? Can you lose the series 2-3 this year? And I get it. The Warriors are playing great ball right now. They've just beat the Grizzlies, Lakers, and Nuggets in 3 straight games, 2 of which were on the road. I get it. Houston's good too, though. I'll give them credit. They're a big regular season pretender, in my opinion, but it's still a regular season, and they're playing really good basketball. Jalen Green, will he show up in the playoffs? Probably not. But it's go time, dude. Go clinch that 2 seed. Go lock it in. I think they beat the Warriors tonight. I think they send the Warriors down that, log jam in the Western Conference. I'm taking the Rockets to get things done. And I don't think the Warriors, again, they have done a decent job, containing Şengün in the first 4 games this year. Again, you say all that stuff, Alfred, go prove it now. Go prove it. You get your opportunity against an elite team in the league. You say nobody can beat you when you guys are trying. I hope you're trying tonight. Taking Houston plus 155. Final game of the night, Pels Bucks. Give me the Bucks, I guess. I don't know. No, we're going to go Pels spread. They're at home. Milwaukee's not very good. The Pelicans can't win a game, I understand. The Bucks just played an overtime game yesterday against the Heat. I think they might rest guys tonight. They're hoping Dame's back soon. We'll see if Giannis plays and how much Giannis plays. Yeah, they're back at the 5 seed right now. We'll see if they can hold that or the Pistons will overtake them for that. Winner gets to play the Pacers, basically. Whoever gets out that 5-6 battle. But Milwaukee just went to overtime yesterday, did get by Miami. Second out of a back-to-back. New Orleans can give you a fight, I guess. They were competitive against the Lakers until the 4th quarter. I know they're very injured, right? I mean, Olynyk's resting tonight. Alvarado questionable. Jordan Hawkins out and Brandon Boston out. But Alvarado scored a lot in the Lakers game. It was his best scoring night in a year. Bruce Brown's there. Sometimes he'll give you a decent night. Yves Missy. I just don't bet it, guys. I'll be honest. This is the last game of the night. And it's a weird one. I'll take New Orleans. I wouldn't bet it personally. Plus 8.5. There's so many better games today. I don't know. It's Milwaukee on a second out of a back-to-back. They're not that good either without Dame. It's just, there's only so much Giannis can do, and Giannis was doing everything again last night. And now you want him in a second out of a back-to-back. He put up 36, 15, and 10 last night in overtime. Yeah. I don't know how much more we can expect from that guy. His back's hurting from carrying this franchise. Can't wait for him to be a Laker in a couple seasons. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions here on April 6th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.